right, let's learn how to make a bar graph using Excel. I've taken the, let's see how many responses are there, 16, 17, 20, 23. Oh, and in case you didn't know, you can actually get a sum just by looking in the footer bar. It'll also tell you how many values you added up to get that, and the average, which of course the average doesn't make any sense here, because these are nominal level data. And for nominal level, remember the only thing you can report is a mode. Anyhow, let's make a bar graph out of it, shall we? To do that, I've gone ahead and taken those data and put them into columns, as you see here. I'm going to select them and go Insert 2D Column. And that just gives me a real basic chart for a bar graph chart. And let's go ahead and move this chart. I could click this Move Chart button or right-click on it, Control-click on a Mac. Let's move it to its own sheet. That makes it nice and big and easy to work with. And I'm feeling a little red. Let's go red this time. If I wanted different colors, of course, I could go a little bit crazy and even do funky things like make it look 3D. I tend to always keep things pretty simple. When people get a little too crazy with graphs, they end up probably even distracting from the information that it's conveying. So simple makes it nice and clean. I deleted the series legend because we don't need it. And I want to put in axes titles. And I'm going to show you a different way this time than I have in the past. In the Layout tool, I'm going to show a primary horizontal axis title below the axis, and then a primary vertical as a rotated title to the left. And I'd like a chart title as well. If you were putting these charts or figures into an APA-styled paper, you don't want to put a chart title in because you're going to end up having to cut it out because according to APA, figure titles need to be in a certain format, and that's usually done right inside the word processing program. All right, so this is RSEM5100 OL1, OL1 Spring 2012. It's a bar graph, not bra, oops, bar graph of students' degree programs, GRAMS, or majors. Nice descriptive title. And Excel does all the nice resizing so that it appears above the chart, not over it, because that's what I selected. And I want to do an axis title for the x-axis, the horizontal axis. This is the degree program or major. And the y-axis is still a frequency, a count. Now the only other thing I want to do to this really quickly is I'd like to order the data. I'd like to order these bars so that they show not just easily that Ed Psych is the most and early childhood also has a high bar. I'm just going to show it as having an actual order. So I'm going to go back to the data, and the easiest thing to do here is go to Data and choose the Big Sort button, because this is going to give you a little more control over how you sort your data. If you hit just the A to Z or Z to A, it by default does column A. But now I can ask it to sort column B, and I'd like it to sort largest to smallest in this case. It doesn't really matter, it's just a personal preference. I'd like to see the bar that is the highest first. Then, to show you that I can do this, I'm going to sort again, but this time by column A on the value, and that one I want alphabetically. That way, if you have more than one variable with the same count, in which case we do early childhood education and SPED, and the other category are currently tied, it'll actually alphabetize those for you. Now, obviously, it's not that big of a deal in this particular example because we only have a few categories. Imagine, though, if you were somehow plotting a characteristic of each of the 50 states. So, say, percent of residents who are labeled as overweight or obese. You would want to be able to sort those 50 bars so that it's a lot easier for someone to see the trends and find specific values within those trends for states. All right, I'm going to click OK, and it's going to change the sort on this page. All right, so now it goes 10, 6, 3, 3, 1, 0. And if you look real closely, when I click over to chart 2, you'll see it reorder there as well. Yep. So it simply just updated the chart to match what I asked it to do in the ordering on sheet number 1, because they're still linked. All right, that's pretty much it. Remember, you don't want to get rid of the bar gaps like we did with a histogram, because that's part of what a bar graph structure tells us, is that these are qualitative variables, or a qualitative variable at nominal level along the horizontal axes. It's not some sort of a continuous variable like you would have in a histogram or a frequency polygon.